So in our society, we have this tendency to get to a certain point and stop and say, what's next, what's next, what's next, right? And not stopping and rejoicing over what we're doing.
Yeah.
So can you give us some examples of how you rejoice or when you rejoice at your successes?
I was not very good at that up until very recently. And I even got chastised a little bit from powers that be in my life. Because it was like, even with my book, take this book, for instance, the size of it, it's very thin. There's 60 pages in here or something like that. And it's smaller. And I even did a really good job of taking the powerful messages that are in here and the principles that can change people's lives and diminish them because of the size of the book. It's just a small book. It's not a big deal.
See. Yeah.
I shouldn't charge very much for it. It's not worth that. And I asked for forgiveness from my book. That may sound funny to you. I literally went and asked forgiveness for my book. I said, I'm sorry. It's a physical thing. It's a physical energy. So I said, I'm sorry. I apologize. I ask for forgiveness. I diminished you, and I never should have. And also diminished my own experiences in writing it. And and I have just spent my whole darn life being really good at diminishing myself. And that has only changed recently. And I really come to understand how silly that is. And not only silly that is, but by me diminishing myself and not celebrating the things that I've done and acknowledging the things that I've done, I end up coming off, instead of coming off humble, and which is what I always equated it in my weird twisted brain. It had equated that as being humble and all those other things, not prideful or whatever. And instead of, other people were viewing me as aloof and stuck up and not accessible, when nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah.
And so by not having confidence in myself and not celebrating my successes and not celebrating any little thing along the way, I actually was projecting myself and portraying myself as someone who I am not.
Wow, interesting, huh?
And I went,
wow,
that is so messed up.
So now you rejoice, I'm assuming.
So now I celebrate and I acknowledge the power that a small book that is actually portable, because someone can stick it in their purse, and when they're sitting in a doctor's office or they're sitting in a somewhere where they're just bored out of their minds, they can pull it out and read one chapter and go, and I can work on that little activity at the end of the chapter. You know? So I went, I am not diminishing myself anymore.
Good for you.
I am celebrating the things. I am celebrating that one person that comes up to me and says, oh my word, that one thing that you said changed everything for me.
Yeah.
It's like a light bulb goes on.
Yeah.
And I went, oh.
To be notified of our newest YouTube videos, be sure to click the subscribe button here. Head over to our new website for the latest gifts and promotions. For more videos like this one, click this playlist here.